Lee Hughes. I'm a concert violinist and artistic director of The Legacy Show, which celebrates the artistic and cultural contributions of African American composers. Today's Legacy Spotlight shines on James Reese Europe, who was one of the most respected conductors in the United States during his time. Europe was born in Mobile, Alabama in 1881, but moved to Washington, D.C. with his family at the age of 10. He excelled in violin studies and eventually took up conducting. As a young professional, he moved to New York City and founded the Clef Club, a union and contracting service for 200 of the most talented African American musicians in the city. He formed the Clef Club Orchestra from this union, eventually securing contracts to present the orchestra in Carnegie Hall for 4 successive seasons between 1912 and 1915. The first Carnegie performance was a groundbreaking moment for Europe and his musicians. Traditional patrons, music critics, and supporters of the Clef Club were wowed when the concert began with 125 African American musicians on stage dressed in tuxedos, including full sections of banjo and mandolin players and 10 pianists. Europe began with a syncopated march that hinted at jazz, a style of music that would later take New York City by storm. At the end of the concert, the orchestra sang a grand finale. Unlike traditional orchestras, this ensemble could not only play, but they could really sing. After the last note, the audience erupted in applause, and Europe was on his way. After the third Carnegie concert, critics became less appreciative of the Clef Club Orchestra's unconventional style. They suggested the group perform works by Haydn and other traditional composers. Europe adamantly responded, "You see, we colored people have our own music that is a part of us. It's the product of our souls. It's been created by the sufferings and miseries of our race." He kicked back and refused to change his style. During World War I, Europe led a military band called the Hellfighters. They entertained troops in the U.S. and Europe, garnering fans everywhere they went. In 1919, the Hellfighters performed a concert to an audience of thousands at the Theater of the Champs-Élysées in Paris. The concert featured Europe's signature jazzy style, and the crowd went wild. Parisian musicians were fascinated by the unusual tone colors the group created and tried to reproduce them. When they couldn't figure out how to do it, they threw their hands up and declared, "This man is a genius." After a successful European tour, Europe and the Hellfighters received a hero's homecoming in the U.S. He continued to perform in New York until his untimely death by the hands of a disgruntled band member. James Reese Europe was a pivotal figure in American history. We are fortunate to have a few recordings of his work on video or music platforms today. I hope you will join me in celebrating his legacy as you listen to this excerpt from Castle Walk, recorded by his orchestra in 1914.